Your best friend for gathering emergency food is the dollar store. Everything you see here purchased for, I believe it was $18. You want to separate your foods into two categories, for the individual person and the shared food that everybody's going to be eating from. Using our gallon sandwich bags we bought also, let's say we're a family of 4, look what we just created. Each bag has at least 2 meals and a couple snacks in there for the family members. All we need is somewhere to store these in the trunk so they don't get crushed. And right now, a simple cardboard box will do. Remember our shared foods, the nachos and cheese, some fruit cups, and this is a dollar store as well. Whole milk. You got little ones in there, they always want milk. All this is going to go in the trunk. While you're at the dollar store, pick up a few packages of these baby wipes. For less than $20, you've just created a day's worth of emergency food supplies for you and your family. None of us ever really keep our trunks clean, but if you look how small this area is, and that's with our water bottles in there, we can find a place on one side of the trunk to the other. Don't slide it all the way in the back, because you want to keep it up close where you can grab everything if you have to. And this stuff here, you can grab when you're out on the road. If you're stuck in traffic for a few seconds, you can jump out, grab it, and get back in the car. If it's in your budget, what I would do is I would make 2 or even 3 each of these little meal kits for the family. The reason is, how many times have we been out ourselves and with the kids running errands and someone gets hungry? The first thing we do is we pull into a 7-Eleven or a fast food joint, and before we know it, we've spent $10, $15 or even more. All right? With these little packets in the back of your trunk, anyone gets hungry or thirsty, you can simply step around there, pull them out, give them to the individual, and you've saved yourself time, you saved yourself money, and then you can turn around when you get home and resupply what you used. All right, as promised, we're going to talk about keeping emergency food in your car. Possibly enough food to last your family for several days, even a couple weeks or more if possible. This video is going to be several parts long. I don't know yet, but I do have a favor. Do not make any comments on this video. Save them for the other videos, because I'm going to put a few links in here I want you all to go to, and I don't want them buried in comments on this one here. So save the comments for the other videos, please. Since we do have a limited space in our trunk, but we have to make sure our family is safe, we're going to treat our storage in our trunk like we would going on a backpacking trip. And that is, you want high quality food in small packages and high nutrition. Okay, next video. In the first video, I'd like you to go back and go into comments, and I have a few links in there that I want you to look at and read. This is on food that are best for you and your family to keep in your backpack to go on camping trips. Once again, our trunk is going to be our so-called backpack. And it's going to be up to you to figure out how, your family's needs, how much you're going to eat that day, and if there's an emergency, do you have a designation? How far away is it? And if you don't have a designation, you're going to end up somewhere where there's no food. How long is that food going to be able to sustain you and your family? So you're going to have to figure all that out. We're not going to discuss water here because hopefully you'll purchase your filters before long. Those of you that have wondering what I'm talking about, we've got small filters that you need to keep in your car as well. Next video. Let me suggest this when it comes to the distance you and your family may have to go for safety. Remember in our maps I told you to do 2 routes. A driving route and a walking route. You got somewhere you can drive to in a day, of course you need a day's worth of food. What happens if you can't drive? Your car breaks down, the roads are clogged, or just, who knows? For any excuse, you and your family have to walk. Now that spot you're going to is not turned into a day, but maybe 3 or 4 days. So plan the amount of food you need for how many days it would take you to walk to your designation that you're heading to. And the type of food we're going to carry is MREs or pre-made meals and packages, stuff that doesn't need to be cooked. We can open it right up and eat immediately right after there, right out of it. Next video. These are a few of the packaged foods that I keep in my car. Just a couple examples. Now, I would be wary of carrying heavy stuff like soups, things like that. In case you have to walk, that's going to add extra weight to you. You got these little meals here that are very light. I keep just tons of this stuff here that you can get at the grocery store for just over $1. At the dollar, most of these, like this here, come from the dollar store itself. And then you have these pre-made meals in here. And of course, canned meats, canned fish, chicken, things like that, and small cans is definitely what you'd like to stock up on. But when planning this out, you want to remember everyone's taste and their needs when it comes to the diet. And make sure you're using your notebooks to keep all this down. Next video. Now, please, I know a lot of you are taking this seriously, but putting it off, for some reason or not, and some aren't taking it that serious. I would beg you, to take these videos seriously, to especially go back to part 1 and look in the comments and beg you to read every one of these links. It tells you the food, nutrition, and food that you can save up, that you can buy to purchase and place in your backpack, as we're going to call it our trunk. And, and even after you've read through my links, study different foods that you can carry around with you. And, switch it up every now and then. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to stick all of this food in your trunk and say, well, that's for emergencies. We're going to forget about it. That's not what I want you to do with it. We're going to continually use this food as well. Next video. Don't stick any food in your trunk and forget about it, okay? We want to use that food. If you're carrying your kids to the park over someone's house, they need snacks, they need food, you forget the kids' lunch. You can go in your trunk and get all this together and give to them. Also, if you're at home and there's something you need that you don't have, you can go to your trunk and pull it out. We want to use that food. If we even think we want something out of it, use it. But please, write it down in your notebook that you've used it so you can replace it. We also want to get in the habit of switching up and using this food as well, because we want to rotate it. You don't want food sitting in your trunk and just going bad over time. So kind of keep up with the expiration dates as well. So I'm not big on expiration dates, and I'll explain that in a future video. But don't hesitate to use this food. No, you do not want to sit in your trunk idle. Use it up, use it up, use it up, but replace it, replace it, replace it. So I want to end this little series here. Some other videos to do. Go check out those links. Have a great day.